Last week on Street Fighter League, it was the land of the OCVs. If you don't know, that's one character victory, pretty much being one man, like we saw when it came to Panda going up against Team NORDAVIND. One man, Phenom, getting it done, showing you why he deserves his name as he smokes the entire team and finishes Punk off in the Caramera match. And as if that wasn't already hype enough, we also had Team BANDITS going up against Team UYU. When it all came down to MENA, it was him versus 3 guys, and it was not enough as he got it done, smoking everyone without dropping one game. Dios mio, Street Fighter League is just ridiculous right now. And this week, we have the VODAFONE Giants going up against Team NORDAVIND. These guys are gonna be playing with all of the sweat possible because this match means everything. We are at the halfway point and both of these teams are 2-2. They cannot afford to lose. We'll see who wants it more. And finally, we do have the run back. Our first run back in all of Street Fighter League, as we are going to have Team NASR going head to head with Team Panda. I cannot wait to get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it all goes down right here, right now at Street Fighter League.
Street Fighter League Week 8, it begins. This is the last team battle we're going to have before we shift to that second half of the season. My name is Tasty Steve, and I'm joined by the bald eagle of commentary, Vicious, in the building. How's it going, man?
Pretty good, actually, considering what just happened in last week's Street Fighter League episode. Again, they had back-to-back OCVs that transpired in a way that we couldn't expect it. We couldn't even call it. We could barely call it for one of them because we couldn't even hear ourselves think.
Look, let's talk about the fact that we're at Season 4. We have 2 returning teams in the form of NASR and UYU. Even though they're new and improved, some of the standings might not be the best for them, but we do have some new teams. We have Panda joining us here, and that is a reworking of Team Alpha 3. Of course, we have BANDITS, which is looking like Team DR, and then we have the VODAFONE Giants as well. And then last but certainly not least, we have NORDAVIND holding us down for the final 6 team that we have here. And these standings have been going back and forth. This has been the closest Street Fighter League season we've seen up to date, and it's because the matches have been so close.
And we're about to experience pretty much the full circle of round robin number 1, right?
That's true.
We have, again, Giants versus NORDAVIND gearing up to fight off against each other, but we talk about the band system and how important that is. We talk about the team order as well and how pivotal it's been for some of these games that transpired earlier in the previous weeks, right? So all of it really, really matters because at the same time, you have so much to consider. The international borders have been open. It is an international players ball. You're going to CC these players that you've CC'd around town. And I'll tell you what, take a look at the standings and just see how close it is right now. You have Team NASR all the way at the top with 4-1. Panda trailing not too far behind, honestly, in second place. This is where it gets kind of nitty-gritty, kind of grimy, if you will. VODAFONE Giants and NORDAVIND tied up at 2 apiece, tied in 3rd and 4th. BANDITS and UYU down by the wayside, though. BANDITS still has a shot to take over in that number 4 spot. And same with UYU, depending on how these matches go, right? We're just about to gear ourselves into the second half of the round robin, and this is where everything comes together, Steve. It comes into the bans, the team order. Every single piece of data you've collected in the first half needs to be used to the utmost potential right now.
Well, with that being said, let's take a look at the format. We've been holding it down here for 4 season strongs for Street Fighter League. This is a 3v3 Waseda style team tournament that you're watching here for Street Fighter League Season 4. Teams submit a player order. If a player wins, they go to the back of the queue. If they lose, they are eliminated from this week's team battle. The matches continue until one team successfully knocks out all 3 remaining members of the opposite team, and whoever does that will be the team battle victor. And you still have to consider these bans. They've been one of the major things that's held these teams in place, kept them a little honest if you ask me, but we're one team battle away from those being reset, them not being able to ban those same characters that they banned in the first half of the season, which opens up a lot of ability for some of these teams. I mean, if you just look at, Panda itself, who really is not able to be banned as much. They've gotten to play a little bit. NASR, they've been hit a couple times by that Rashid ban. NORDAVIND is really getting hit by the fact that Luffy, no one wants to fight Armika. No one wants to fight Armika.
But they have to now. Again, that's the beauty of it all. Yeah, because there's so much on the line, right? Everything comes down to the decision-making of these teams, whether it's the ban choice or the team format, because there's $75K on the line for the winning team for the season, as well as being able to face off against Street Fighter League's Japan. The very best of that league gets to face off against us, and that's going to be pretty exciting to see the clash of titans between these two regions. Actually, technically, it's Japan versus the world.
That's actually what it is. It's probably going to be Japan versus the world more than anything. And we've seen that coming up in the later seasons of Street Fighter League. These teams fighting each other has really been a major contention point. But even more so now, it's going to be number one versus number one. And let's talk about this week's team battles. It's going to be Vodafone Giants versus NORDAVIND for our first team battle. Then we reset it. Even the pin was hype about it. Then we reset. We're going to go to NASR versus Panda as we start up that second round robin rotation. And this is when things are going to get really interesting. And of course, things have been interesting because Astro has been holding down Season 4 of Street Fighter League like no other. Those smooth A40 headsets, which I do have some at home myself, definitely transforms the environment, makes the sound a lot better. Comfort for the tournament players as well as the casters. Make sure you guys get your very own A40 headset, and shout out to Astro, the official headset and mix-up of Street Fighter League.
You can definitely pick up your headsets now over the Twitch panel below to get yourselves ready for this matchup of the week. It's going to be Vodafone Giants going up against NORDAVIND, and that's happening right after this break.
All set up for this week's team battle. Street Fighter League Week 8 continues. Let's talk about this first team battle. We have Vodafone Giants going up against NORDAVIND. This is a very pivotal stage in what's going on, and I'm going to tell you why. This is the last team battle of those bans. That means the bans reset after this. You won't be able to aim at the same characters. This is going to be big because there's a 2-2 tie at this point. I believe Vodafone Giants as well as NORDAVIND are tied at 2-2 at this point.
That's correct.
That means the matches from here on out will be super important. And this is the last leg of everything. This is your last run back you're going to be able to get before things switch over, in which case this is a good starting point. I've never really thought about it, but I feel like having this match as your last match going into the turnover is actually pretty good.
I mean, you're going to have to face them off again anyway.
That's true. That's
the hardest thing. It's like, all right, well, we're going to get ourselves ready for the next half. What's the last bit of information we can get against these players that we haven't played off against yet? And it's kind of an interesting position. As you mentioned, they're both stuck in that spot of 3rd and 4th, respectively. They still have a chance to get knocked out into the bottom 2, right? There's still Bandits and UIU just hanging in there. They're waiting to see who's going to slip up, and they're going to take advantage of that because they have to consider what bans are going to come out this time. What's the team order for the rest of them? So there's still that contention spot for the top 4, and that's what all these teams really want for that season finale.
Well, we do have already set up. We have these guys set up ready to play their matches. But before we get there, Hollywood Rob TV had some words, some choice words from the cool voice of none other than Infectious. Check it out.
We are here with one of the stars of the show. Of course, one of the most exciting players to watch, my guy, Infectious. What's going on, brother?
How's it going?
Infectious right now for you guys. I would say it started off going super, super amazing, and it's still going good, but the trajectory seems like at first it was like, okay, NASR and Vodafone Giants. And right now, you guys are still in an okay spot, but you're 2-2. Started winning 2, ended up losing next 2. What would you attribute to that? Are you still comfortable with where you guys are at as a team? What changed?
I think it was a combination of things. So we had our first loss in a matchup which was really good against Bandits, and we got caught off guard with the surprise Balrog pick from MENA. So things which we weren't able to prepare for kind of resulted in us losing there, I feel. And then after that, we had a strong opposition in NASR, and we really had to make that one count. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win there. So combination of things resulted in us being kind of in the middle of the road, but definitely needing more wins to secure our spot.
Well, so right now, your next match, right now you're 2-2. Your next match is going to be up against NORDAVIND, and they're 2-2 as well. And I would say that for them, they're kind of like on a hot streak because I don't know if I would call it a streak, but getting the OCV up against Panda, you know, Phenom is looking on fire right now. And this is just an extremely important match for both of you guys because it's the last match of the first half. After this, you know, the bans change and everything. Did you catch that match? You know, what did you think about what you saw from Phenom? And what do you think about their team composition?
It was an amazing display. The OCV, as you mentioned, kind of puts momentum behind them, whereas Giants arguably our momentum slowed down from the start. So it's going to really be one of the most important matches of the whole season, really. The team that can pick the momentum up from now and not put themselves in a position where they've lost 3 games and won 2. Their team composition, you know, Luffy's struggled with Mika being banned consistently, which has softened them up. And VEGGEY's still finding his feet, some close games, but not managing to clutch it out quite a few times. And PHENOM's been carrying the weight on his back, and today, or the last match, he really made it count. So
when it comes to having a player like that, you know, just like in sports, there's always that star player on the team that's very tough to stop. Sometimes even impossible. Does he get the bulk of you guys' attention when it comes to preparation? I know at this point you guys are already completely prepared. I know how analytical you are as a team, and even for you on an individual level. Yeah, like so would you say that he specifically, like, you have a specific anti-Phenom strategy?
Well, yeah, he'll be one of the main focuses when you're preparing for the team, as would any star player who's got the ability to do things like OCV and really bring the team's morale back up. So you do spend a significant amount of time focusing on those type of players.
Well, you know, you're speaking about spending time, Infectious. There's something I want to bring up because I was very excited when I found out my guy was gonna be here. You know, of course, you, Mr. Crimson, VEGAPATCH. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hang out. And all of us, guys, we've all been hanging out, running games together, just, you know, great bonding experience. That's one of the beautiful things about Street Fighter League as far as being a part of it. I've at one point thought that you guys were staying in a different hotel. I have not seen you guys. This is the thing, it's not even like you guys not just chilling with us. I don't, even if I go downstairs to grab a snack, I'll never see you guys. It's like you don't even, what's going on here? Like, clearly your mentality on a serious note is different than all of the other teams here. As far as the way you guys approach things, would you say it's like a psychological side of things? Is it like a, you know, you don't want to give away anything, or is it just like you guys are always spending time training or resting?
I think it's resting and training being the main focus of why we're here and what we want to achieve. There are a lot of distractions when you come to a nice hotel, or we've just been spent some time in Los Cabos in Mexico. So there's a lot of distractions that can pull you away from the reason why you're here and the task at hand. And so we try our best not to get distracted and focus to give ourselves the best chance of performing as well as we possibly can.
So the chances of me getting that long form Infectious interview on my YouTube channel aren't the greatest.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys just heard it here first. Infectious just promised me that he will make time to get the interview from my YouTube channel. Infectious, always a pleasure talking to you, bro. I feel like you guys' mentality has been working out extremely well so far, and I can't wait to see how that plays out in your next match going up against Team NORDAVIND.
Infectious talking about how serious this team is. Rob TV made mention that he sees all these other teams practicing with each other, playing games themselves, going to get food, hanging out. Not this team. This team is taking it very serious. I mean, the team itself just sounds like, you know, you don't want to deal with it at full power. You have Infectious, you have Mr. Crimson, you have VEGAPATCH, and even going up against NORDAVIND, I feel like this team is still what you're looking at. This is, I feel like, the model team. You got a character that people don't want to play versus two very strong players and characters as well. What more could you ask for in this matchup?
To be quite honest, again, that's the utmost focus you would need for a tournament like this. When we talk about Street Fighter League and how it's gotten better every single season, this right now feels like the pinnacle. You have players from all around the world with a bunch of accolades under their belt, so you have to take it as serious as possible. Again, making sure that you understand what the dynamic is like going up against your enemies, knowing what bans would be proper, especially this time around. This is going to be their first time facing Team NORDAVIND, right? They don't have that kind of intel other than just watching the games, but it's a whole different experience when you're in the hot seat. Speaking of in the hot seat, both of these players, or both of these teams, again, if either of them win, they kind of take it over Panda, just considering the win record they've had going into it. So that's even more pressure for someone like, or a team like NORDAVIND as well, right? Just having that equal footing. It's like, all right, well, we really need this to secure our spot going into the next half of the season, right? So, in fact, we do have VEGGEY with that interview with Rob TV to kind of talk about how they've been feeling going into this end of the round robin. Take a look.
Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington. There's a short list of humans on this earth that are more handsome than me. But one that has to be on that list definitely is this man that's sitting to the left of me right now. VEGGEY, how's it going, brother?
Thank you so much. That was very kind. Now you lifted my spirits, and I'm even more ready to play.
I had to keep it a buck, man. You know, you got your whole little model team going on. And right now, the way that you guys are modeling your team, the way you're structuring your team, you haven't PHENOM fight in the anchor spot a whole lot.
Yeah.
Me and Oil King were talking backstage, and we were like, man, like it could be tiring. Like I was like, maybe having him in the first spot, because maybe he'll get the first win, and then that builds momentum for you guys, for you and Luffy, or it just gives him a bit of rest or whatever. But clearly you guys are right, because we said that before he ended up going to OCV and everyone. What's the theory with the way you guys are doing your order?
I mean, we spoke about sending PHENOM first.
Yeah.
A few times. And it is true that he will get this kind of a break. But at the same time, should the anchor, the strongest player in the team, lose the first game, like what just happened for UIU, or maybe not the first game, but it's like the anchor wasn't the strongest player anymore because he lost earlier.
The last one. Yeah.
So at that point, I'm sure that the guy who then anchored could play a lot better should he be the second player to kind of anchor that position, because he will be more free. But when you go up against one of the best players in the world in MENARD, and you are not even playing your main, and you are like in the anchor position, that is terrible. So the player who has the best mentality out of the three of us is definitely PHENOM. He is most used to this Shades of Gfinity, where he was often the deciding factor for our victories. So now coming off the win where he OCV'd a top 2 team in the league.
Yeah.
Just to prove my point that he's like top 3 in the world, in my opinion.
I remember we were talking in the interviews earlier, and you were saying like, yo, some people might think I'm being biased or something like that. No, but I really think that PHENOM is, but clearly
he's
it's
absolutely
showing.
Insane. Like that match with Punk, they were both nervous. They had some drops, which is to be expected because we both need wins right now.
Yeah.
I think that if we were like in a better position, both teams,
there would be less drops
because the nerves really do affect everyone, especially this early stage when every match counts. So to just answer your question about the positioning, we did think about it, but then we realized that the strongest player, should he lose early, would put an enormous amount of pressure on the 2 players waiting. And I think we can perform better knowing that the Moose is ready, and he's ready to go loose.
Why is my man's name the Moose? Is it because is it like a where's the Moose come from?
The Moose, like the first esports team we created, we called it the Moose is Loose. No, the Moose of Norway, which is like a play on a Norwegian clothing brand.
Yeah.
And everyone made fun of that. I thought it was sick because it was my idea.
It ain't.
And I loved it.
I had to give it a buck, bro. I had to give it a buck.
So to make that a bit shorter, we did a podcast during the start of Corona.
Yeah.
And we thought that the name Footsies, which is our manager's idea, or our owner's idea, we thought it was boring. And then I said, like, let's have something more random, like the Moose is Loose, since we are Norwegians, and the moose is the country, the animal.
Oh, that's
of
the
Norwegian.
animal you guys.
At least it is a very
popular,
proud, big animal that we have in Norway. Even down in Oslo, you can find them.
Yeah.
So since then, he just stole my branding, and now he's the Moose is Loose, and I'm just VEGGEY. But it's fine.
You know, as far as, being VEGGEY, mentality and everything, again, early on, before the matches really got going, you were saying that, well, I don't know I don't remember the exact wording you used, but basically you were downplaying your skill. And I feel like up to this point now, we have seen you play well, and it's been way progressively better. There's so many games where I feel like it's like 2-1 and coming down to the last spot, and maybe you don't get the last hit or whatever. But I personally feel like you never know when, even if you aren't looked at as the star player on the team, right? There's role players that are extremely important. Remember, well, I don't know how much you follow NBA, but there's a player named Ray Allen, and he hit an extremely important 3-pointer, and LeBron wouldn't have got a championship if it wasn't for that, right? And you never know when that moment is gonna happen. So your mentality, I believe, is extremely important for what happens with this team. You never know when that moment's gonna come. Where is your confidence level right now, and how do you feel when you're not getting these wins that you want to get?
After my first loss to Kawa, where I just needed to crouch fierce anti-air, and I was kind of like, just wait and crouch fierce, just crouch fierce, and then he come and I still press crouch medium punch. Since then, I was a little bit like disappointed because I could have had such a great start. So I felt like the next games wasn't really there, but right now, I'm trying to just forget about the decisions that led to those close matches not being wins, and just forgive them and not think about them, because when you think about it, you can't focus on the next game. So I'm trying to focus on the next game now. I had a very tough opponent in PUNK last game, and I mean, we're running up against VODAFONE Giants, which is a team we kind of like talked a lot about because we feel like their matches are so iffy for us. So I think right now I feel good because I play very good when we do free play, casuals, started to play like myself. So I just want to try to put that over to the big screen. I just want to feel completely comfortable. And I feel like we have a very good team mentality. We talk a lot about how we can perform. And I think that as long as we just stay in it, we will become stronger as this season evolves, should we manage to like keep working on these things as a team, because we have a very good team spirit right now. There's not been any salt towards anyone. There's not been anything like, it's just good joking.
Luffy be salty.
Yeah, Luffy's always salty, but but in a good way. I like his salt. His salt is also.
But yeah, guys, we have a very important match coming up next. You do not want to miss it. There's a whole lot of pressure on both sides, but as you can see, they are looking very confident. This is going to be Team NORDAVIND going head to head with the VODAFONE Giants.
VEGGEY hitting with the hard-hitting questions, actually. He's going straight for the jugular when it comes to the responses he's getting against Rob TV. This man is out for blood for anybody. Nobody is safe around VEGGEY, is what it is. In fact, even on the stage, he actually went over to VEGAPATCH. He's like, you know why you're more nervous than I am? Because you have a lot more to lose. Hold that. Man, put the headset back on. Then he flexed into the camera.
And then he definitely flexed
Not even joking.
into the camera. He did like the flex scream. That's how you know. That's how you know. Intimidation starts when you sit next to your opponent. And that's who we have going up first. It's going to be VEGAPATCH going up against VEGGEY. VODAFONE Giants versus NORDAVIND. This is a very important game. And I feel like it's one of the earliest contention sets we've seen in Street Fighter League history at this point. Having two teams this strong start off at that. This is their first time meeting. Obviously, they're going for the Armika ban on the side of VODAFONE Giants, right?
Yes.
For NORDAVIND, they're aiming at Dawson. They want to take Mr. Crimson out of the equation. And I'm going to tell you right now, if NORDAVIND can get this win, this is most definitely an upset. Most definitely an upset.
I heard backstage also, this is the battle of the Vegs, right? Whoever loses this have to take Veg out of their name. It's VEGGEY versus VEGAPATCH. If VEGGEY loses, he's just Eggy, and then the rest of it is just a patch, right? That's actually pretty critical. You have to change your name after this? That's brutal. All jokes aside, though, I do understand the bans going towards each team, right? VODAFONE Giants wanted to make sure that Luffy is not able to play at max capacity. Same with NORDAVIND, making sure that Crimson is just, or Mr. Crimson is just Crimson Jr.
Well, I mean, look, the G has definitely done a lot. The G has definitely done a lot on the side of Mr. Crimson. Honestly, it's one of the reasons we're still looking at this team at the light that we are right now. NORDAVIND is one of the strongest teams here, I tell you right now, only because of these two players, because you have Phenom, because you have Luffy, and you can't ban Phenom, and you're about to not be able to ban Luffy. NORDAVIND is looking like things can take a turn for the better here, and VODAFONE Giants, I'm really interested to see what their mindset and what their plan is going to be heading into the second half of the round robin in Season 4, and these guys are unleashed. VEGGEY already locked in on the cool birdie outfit. This is one of my favorite outfits in the game.
Their nostalgia outfit. Man, I can't speak English, but I'll tell you what. I will say with the ban picks, I think going into the next half, I think Fong would primarily be the target because that's the only character we've seen VEGAPATCH play. So we'll see. My man took off the jacket too. It's hot out here. All right, relax.
We should just call this the VEGGEY variation. The regular birdie is not. It's
that
not
was former VEGGEY.
That's former VEGGEY. This is the current VEGGEY right here. Bro, I didn't even know you can change his hair. Are you serious?
Shades off and everything. It's actually pretty cool looking.
Bro, this outfit, this nostalgia outfit will make me play with Birdie. Okay, plus
why did he lose his buffness? Well, how did he lose his physique?
He got sick, bro. He was sick in the first game, my bad. He just got lazy, man. That Shadowloo life, man. Okay.
Get that money, I get it.
My man was eSports, bro. What do you expect? He's doing the same poses and all the photos, making tier lists with the Panda Boys. What do you expect? All right, here we go. Throw.
Look at the amount of poison just racking up and doing that extra bit of damage. But it's been all VEGAPATCH on the offside, right? You can't see any sort of options for defense.
I mean, still, though, this is a very solid defensive round for VEGGEY.
Ooh.
Okay, stand light kick, light delay reaction right there. Neutral jump. Oh my God, he did this earlier on. I was talking about this. They were like, yo, if you see him do cower, just do this. And he's been using it as an anti-air option. He'll go in the
he
cower
landed
too.
on the fireball. There was a trigger activation still. There was a little bit of trigger, so it had an extra durability. So the fireball actually trip guarded on the way down.
Still playing it slow.
Ooh.
Oh, tried to go for the command.
What a call out.
Okay.
Were you mashing it the whole time?
He shifts back. Puts himself in the corner. That down forward heavy punch. One of the special normals from Fong. You don't see it a lot, but definitely gets annoying once you see a good Fong player puts it into play.
The poison again racking up, and I do like him putting the real bender out there. Oh, hanging chain.
The drinking noise. Glue, glue, glue.
Taking the poison beast skill. He's going to be taking it just fine. Yes, sir. The anti-air. That's going to be just fine also for VEGGEY. Finding the right angle to stop the Flappy Bird. Oh! Air catch immediate kick.
It's going to be a lot harder to do these cross-ups versus Fong. So many normal. Good answer. Ooh, stand light kick. Life lead in favor of Birdie this time around. And one of the things you have to think of in this matchup is a lot of people get dissuaded because they see that slow-moving projectile that you can't block, and it really kind of flusters people. Playing around it and sometimes just holding that ground is really pivotal in the Fong matchup. V-Trigger 2 activate, calls out the V reversal, and this is not good. What side? I actually got hit. I 100% I got hit.
Jeez, he's faked everybody out in the studio. People like reeled back in their seats like, same side? No sauce?
That's actually whack. I definitely got hit.
Whack.
That's so whack. I definitely got hit, bro.
Everybody gets hit. Everybody, even on this stage.
I don't like it. I don't like it. This Fang guy. This Fong guy.
He's a Fong guy. I get it.
VEGGEY not doing bad here, though. Not doing bad. I feel like it's more about the pace of this round.
Yeah, I think he was playing just fine. Also, you know, in that previous instance where he was hanging back, he was playing the life lead game tremendously. But the mix-ups conquer all. I feel like if you're not ready for it, that's just the name of the game, right? You get mixed.
And just reaching right now with that EX bullhead. Uh-oh. Poison once again. Command dash to get in. Tries to get out. And goes back to this crouching medium kick. That just gives VEGAPATCH a chance to get out.
Oh, instant overhead. That's so tricky because you get the side switch for one. Number two, he could still go for the lows, like chain those lights together and kill.
Oof.
Man, VEGAPATCH is making quick work right now.
Oh, jump heavy finds his mark. I want to see some more of these normals come into play, but it's so hard to try to get something started versus his character. Great projectiles, really controls the pace of the round, and you could just see him baiting out a lot of the options that VEGGEY wants to do.
How often do you see VEGAPATCH just reset the situation by going to the other side with that command jump, or at least, you know, the Flappy Bird after the jump?
Oh, wow. Cancels there. More of that life.
I guess it's a command glide.
Yeah.
If anything. Not a command jump, excuse me. But
you just call it an air dash. I know you don't want to do that, but it's an air dash.
That's definitely not a dash.
It's okay. That's not a dash?
That's hella not a dash.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
It's hella a dash. Stop denying my man Fong. Speaking of denying something.
There's no offense coming in from VEGGEY. That's actually wild. Yo, VEGAPATCH is actually stopping him from doing anything. And that hanging chain extends the hurt box on the way out, putting VEGGEY in that awkward situation. Yeah, there was no way he was out of there. That was a full 2-0 sweep from VEGAPATCH.
Yeah, that wasn't easy at all, though. That was not easy at all. And it just seemed like VEGAPATCH really knew what Birdie wanted to try to achieve in that matchup. Like, he was like, oh, you're definitely going to hit buttons, but you really can't do that versus Fong. Has a lot of far-reaching normals as well. You saw that command normal. And just the fact that he's able to control so much space. constantly going to that air dash, that V skill 2, to make sure the VEGGEY stayed on his toes.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to Fong, we talk about the kind of matchups he does favor in, the kind of matchups that kind of hurt him as well, right? And this one, it's Feast versus Fam, and he's definitely doing a great job of utilizing the tools he has to keep Birdie away and also escape certain options that would most likely keep him in the corner, right? VEGGEY, I feel like he lacked a little bit of the knowledge and couldn't make the reads or the assessment as to what VEGAPATCH wanted to do based on the fact that he wasn't aware of Fong's full capabilities yet, right?
Yeah, this is so once again, NORDAVIND on the ropes instantly. These guys are, you know, this is one of the matches you want to win, right? They're tied at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, yeah.
They're tied. So if that's the case, this is a huge blow. VEGGEY not being able to, you know, take out VEGAPATCH. You got a Fong at the tail end that you have to deal with if you get through Infectious and Mr. Crimson, and now you're playing up against Luffy, who's hurt. Luffy, and I don't mean he's hurt. I just mean like he's not going to be able to play his full potential because his character's not is the band character. That's the band character, and this Colleen was definitely building up. We saw it last week versus Justin Wong of Team Panda. I'm interested to see what happens here. Zeku, of course, going to be on the side for Infectious, the strongest of the strong. It's going to be our next match.
Yeah.
And we've seen Infectious go towards Trigger 2 and V-Skill 2. A lot of the matches that he's been playing out, opting to go for the anti-air option. Pretty good, honestly. And also having the V-Skill 2 to switch between stances in a safe manner. Or at least close the gap if you wanted to, right? He'll go into Young Zeku, be a little bit more intimidating. People kind of want to back off. It's like, I don't want to face off against the close quarters feed.
Nah, that's true.
But then he opts to use V-Skill 2 and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to use this opportunity to close the gap. What a jump in.
Jump heavy kick right there. Actually finds his mark.
Even while in old Zeku, right, has better options for anti-air.
One thing you can't take away from Luffy, no matter what character he's playing, is his neutral control. He really does have an understanding of where you want to be in the neutral, and that's definitely that Art Mika experience kicking in, right? Always aware of where she can be on the screen, doesn't have a projectile, always looking for command throws, and I feel like that pace really helps Luffy. It really helps Luffy in a lot of these situations. Stand light kick in the Parabellum, and this round is looking very strong. So strong, in fact, that it's going to go to the side of Luffy.
You know that you can finish the heavy with your sweep.
Yeah, and be careful when throwing buttons.
Nice.
What a great anti-air too at the very last second, clutching it out against that jump in from Luffy. Started the second round, excuse me. And you saw that piece of information. If he throws out that back roundhouse, you can punish it with your sweep on the way back. A lot easier to whip punish now.
Yeah, looking for the recovery in those instances. It just walks under the bush and flip, crouching medium kick. Luffy looking for something right there, didn't pull the trigger. Even though he had the good read on the jump in. Whoa.
See, he's kind of reaching with that low medium kick to kind of occupy some of the spaces that Colleen wants to move forward. But if she doesn't need to move forward, especially with the use of back roundhouse, then she's going to hang back right there. That is a very surprising dash. No check from Luffy. How many of these have he had so far?
Okay, going for this tick throw pressure. I feel like this was kind of coined by, you know, NEPHEW and the way he plays this V-trigger Colleen. Patient play, just the case. You can see Infectious really taking his time trying to get in versus
that's what I was looking for. I was going to see what's going to happen if the back roundhouse whiffs, but I feel like, you know, that was a preemptive ram. I don't know if that was a whiff punish, because that would be a lot of time for you to do that.
Confirm heavy kick with super.
Oh, wow. Mr. Crimson just gave him exactly what to do. Confirm heavy kick to super is what he told him. Luffy keeping this really tight though. About 15 seconds left on the clock. Full resources available for Infectious.
Oh, that's huge!
Full CA available.
Oh, no!
No, he's trying to save the meter. Trying to save the meter. Probably gonna have to spin one to get the kill, but that's still a win. 5 seconds left on the clock. Finally gets to confirm and uses one bar of EX to seal the deal on that first round. One round apiece, game one.
A lot of information coming in from the side of Mr. Crimson as well, trying to let Infectious know that there are certain things you can do about the movement choices or the options, the normal options that Luffy has been presenting towards you. But now Luffy a lot more adamant about that standing heavy punch rather than back heavy kick.
You see him backing up to this range, but now Infectious testing the range with the crouching medium punch. Luffy with the stand light kick confirmed into EX hands, had the counter hit and didn't believe this is going to be a side switch. Infectious spins some meter,
That just
Great
means
chunk
he
of
was looking
damage.
for the throw bait, right? He was looking for that opportunity, but
Plus,
smart from Infectious to press the button. The Mega Man jump is successful. Back to this neutral phase where Luffy has been dominating.
Nice.
What a time to EX uppercut. Even Luffy couldn't believe it. He rolled his eyes right around to the back of his head. He's like, what was that?
Looking for something big there, the neutral jump. Got to be wary of that slide here now. Oh, not that one, the ice slide.
That's good for us. We're still here.
Oh, tries to jump out and off the backboard. And you could tell Luffy really wanted
Nice
that.
play, bro.
I'm looking for the air throw right there. I'm looking for the
That's
air
good.
throw.
Close man. He got it.
It's okay. Even though you couldn't see it, it's okay. Just keep playing the neutral like you are. You're winning the neutral.
A lot of talking on the side of NORDAVIND. This is a lot of. I like this. We have not seen this for most of the season. Luffy goes right back to playing that fundamental neutral game, and it wasn't that bad in all honesty. There was a
Not
few
at all.
times where Luffy could have taken that with this Colleen, and now getting a little bit frustrated. You see the jumps come out. Infectious gets a little more active. What
You
a
can
counter!
grab his leg like that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
He is counter the grab. That was
Good job.
beautifully executed. Oh, we tried to do it again, probably.
Gets to
Lucian flip
confirm the
into the
crouch
elbow.
jab, yeah. Lots of whiffing up close. You can see these guys getting to this perfect range where their normals are going to work out. The best place for an attack, and neither one of them giving up the space, right? They just say, you know what, let's call it even and back up a little bit. Still fighting in the middle of the stage. You can hear Mr. Crimson hit Infectious with it. It's okay. Keep the pace.
You're doing great, son.
Are you winning, son?
Trigger 2 dwindling down just a little bit, right? You're not going to see. Oh my god! I was going to say not any sort of dashes, but
There you go.
here comes Infectious. Drop him down, throw, will do it again. Interrupting. There is Luffy, but the anti-air is 1,000% ready coming from Infectious.
And this game kind of spinning out of control right now for Luffy. Even though that first match was looking so good, Infectious getting a lot more sure in his gameplay here, and those grams are adding up. Gets a crush from Colleen. So ready with the throw break. What an interrupt. Here comes Luffy. Spins the EX to take the old key. Yo, backdash on wake up.
Oh,
and
the
here
stutter
comes
step.
Infectious.
Pretty tough. Man, the frame trap is there. Is he going to spend that bar? At least one.
He did the heavy
Another
kick
one.
confirm. The heavy kick counter hit confirm. Walk from under and was not able to make anything happen. Trigger was there. What a counter using the trigger to get the timing down. Speaking of triggers on deck for Zeku. Lots of trigger left for Luffy right here.
Is he going to dash up and try to catch this low, or is he going to try to get a tick throw? But you see Infectious kind of preemptively throwing out that crouching heavy punch. Is he going to go for a V-skill usage here? Probably, but I like the walk speed on young Zeku instead to kind of intimidate that space. But he's running out of his state now.
Oh, with trigger 2, the thing is, though, that slide confirm goes out the window. So you see him playing a lot different neutral game with Zeku, right? Anti-air side switching.
Yeah, has to make it honest if he's looking for a V-trigger activation. That's actually huge. Ooh.
Luffy has a chance here. Oh, that could have been dangerous.
Oh, that's it. That's more than enough. Yes, sir. The jump was at the right angle, and the damage that young Zeku
Magnificent.
deals out
GG.
was going to be more than enough, even after the shoulder pop-up. Infectious eliminating Luffy without his Armika.
Well, Phenom, for the second week in the row, going to be the last line of defense against the Vodafone Giants this time. And at least he can play whatever character he wants. It's not like you can really ban Phenom, I feel like, but at least he can play the character he feels best fits the matchup. No stranger to this kind of danger, as we've seen from last week. Definitely ran it back as the sole member of NORDAVIND.
With the Anchor's own character, by the way. Ended up taking down Team Panda with Karin Kanzuki and looking to do so again, I'd imagine, going up against half a Crimson right now. Does not have Dalsim on the board. We've seen that G, but I do like Karen versus G, honestly.
Hey, do you play Street Fighter 5?
I sure did.
You did? Okay. You know how to fight G. You know how to fight Cammy. This is good for Phenom. This is good for NORDAVIND because them taking Dalsim away means it puts him in a position to run this back. And I feel like, and no offense to like VEGGEY, but VEGAPATCH, but Infectious, you're going to have to deal with VEGAPATCH first, so you're going to fight the Fong after this. That's if you make it through Mr. Crimson and his G, and then you have to fight Infectious. That is one hell of a hill to climb to get a W right now, especially when these two teams are tied. This is going to be tough, and here comes the Karen. And if you ask Luffy, if you saw the results of last week, this is the best Karen in the world. Better than Punk's, if you ask Luffy.
That's just Luffy's opinion. We'll see how if it comes to fruition, right, with Team NORDAVIND, Phenom being the sole anchor, the only member left in this team battle exchange, VEGAPATCH having 2 wins, Infections having 2 wins as well. Now let's talk about Mr. Crimson with that G. Again, having that fireball is pretty important so long as Karen does not have the meter, right? Occupying that space with the medium punches are going to be just as good contending against G's bufferable normals. So now you're talking about the matchup. Who is going to have the better half in neutral?
Early B skill there, not checking the legs. Phenom gets knocked down, but back to the middle of the stage they go. One thing I will say that translates very well from Dalsum to G is space control. No confirm, gonna get the side switch? No.
No, not yet.
Makes him spin that V shift. That's not a bad thing for Karen. That means you have to deal a little less with that V shift or V trigger later on. And look at this, stun is on the table. Phenom known for the affinity to get you with these throw loops. Oh, that could have been a confirm. Didn't have to charge. Or probably just one confirm with the DP, excuse me.
It's still kind of backing away. Doesn't want to overcommit. You can, oh boy.
Oh, stand me.
Oh,
that's
at least
not
get
good.
out of the corner. A ton of damage. Heel kick on the way out. Dash
Don't
up. Command grab would have been it. But
went for it.
Phenom understands the scenario. He is a command grabber. You are not allowed to command grab him.
Round 2.
I'm the command grabber. You're the command grabby. Don't you forget.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Nobody. Low forward, playing a very patient game right here. Oof. That move just looks like it hurt.
Oh, the flailing roundhouse? Yeah, the amount of weight he puts down on it probably. Again, he's got Lincoln Logs for legs.
And the flannel pants on top of it.
Oh,
actually had the stand light kick and didn't believe. Okay, power of the earth. Goes for the sweep this time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's not even what Mr. Crimson wanted, right? Buffering it out, crouching heavy, or at least even confirming it. Having an overlapping input could possibly, you know, let that critical out.
What a stand medium kick. Oh my God, that exchange was not fair at all.
Don't get grabbed.
Okay, ready for it. We saw Phenom ready for the stand jab, interrupt, B skill. That's going to be that. And still would have had a nice confirm off of it. Could have been dash punch low, wheel kick, still got the kill. 1 round apiece. Game number 1.
Good amount of critical, actually, good amount of bar on the side of Phenom. Getting 1 big buffer, 1 big confirm could lead to a lot of damage and a full momentum swing. You see him fishing with the stand medium punch first, then checking with the medium kick afterwards.
Okay, and just walking into this footsie range. And this is what we were talking about in other instances in this matchup. Karen really does want to walk in a little closer versus G, but G's normals are really good at making her respect the space. Another trigger activation. Phenom has not been seeing much success with this.
Punish!
Oh no, actually finishes, and you see a physical reaction there from Phenom. Oh, command grab, not dead, but this isn't good.
Oh, now you're actually dead. Full on counter hit confirm.
And just what's crazy is it's like Mr. Crimson knew. He was like, I'm not even gonna finish the full combo. You're really anxious to get back up. Lets him reset. He does EX for Senha on Wake Up, and Mr. Crimson gets the kill.
Yeah.
This match is important and could send Vodafone Giants home the team battle victors.
That's actually the first time we've seen Phenom actually crack mentally, right? He did not mean to let that Gurenken rock the full way that it did. After that punish, he's like, all right, well, I got to get back. I'm going to take the easy route and use the Senha. No.
Bro, the fact that he was ready with the crouching heavy punch confirmed, still got the clean hit on top of it.
Yeah. Crouching medium punch into the crouching heavy punch. Very, very nice. You love seeing that. I like how it's developed in the meta, where it's like, you got to get these counter hits. The big counter hit confirms going, or the big counter hit punishes. I'm telling you about that medium punch so many times. I've told you time and time again how good that normal is. But man, he flaps around. G can flap around too with some of his normals.
You need to be really careful. We went for throw right there. Wow, little end of his rope idea right there for Mr. Crimson. tried to walk up, gets interrupted with the crouch jab. We've seen Phenom do this before, and you gotta guard the legs. You're hella dead.
If it wasn't that, there was plenty more behind it. That's looking great for Mr. Crimson, already at match point. Are we going to see a full sweep with no wins on the board for NORDAVIND, or will Phenom pull out all the stops here? There is going to be a punish incoming. Goes for the Orochi, more damage, more stun, and gets Oki after that.
Just walking up here. Oh, wow, what an interrupt. We've seen shades of this earlier throughout the season. Tries to go for another throw again, right? Back throw. Phenom just to get something started. You see him just ducking right there just in case a jump comes out. And that crouch up medium kick with so much range. Speaking of, I got one too. V-Skill to get the knockdown. Here comes Phenom.
Throw is tech. Mr. Crimson walking out of the corner, waving to the crowd at home, but still Phenom not letting him advance for free, checking him with the normals, and now the harassment from the other normals too far away to get the confirm, and Phenom knew it, but still committed. Here comes Mr. Crimson. Uh-oh.
Oh, that was definitely throw. That was command throw. That was command throw. And he's definitely sniffing our throws and the fact that G wants to walk up and try to get you with normal throws as well. I think that's one of the strongest things that Phenom has at his disposal. He's not going to let you get comfortable at this range and just walk up and throw him. You're going to work for this throw. He's a command grabber. He knows. I am the command grabber. These are my demands. Stand still and let me command grab you like a good player.
We don't negotiate with grabbers. Sorry. That's exactly what he was doing, right?
We don't negotiate with grapplers. You're either gonna jump or you're gonna not get hit. I just broke my pen. Oh God.
About to break his back. Here comes Mr. Crimson with the throw. Checking with the lows afterwards. Looking for the movement option against Phenom. Throwing out the fireball after the buffered normal. Really intimidating that presence, not giving him any leeway to get himself started. No buffered normals coming out. Just fireballs.
That was dash, and he's in trouble. Oh, okay, this is big. I feel like Phenom is just giving Mr. Crimson too much chances, and he had the hit. He's giving Mr. Crimson too many chances to run it back, and he gets opened up.
Walk out of the way. That's gonna be it. Destruction.
Vamos! Absolutely. Cristo.
Vodafone Giants. Clean team sweep 2-0 across the board, and you can see Vodafone Giants really holding that. That is a clean win that we have here for the team. That's a good spot to be in. That's going to push them up to 3-2, kills that tie, but activates another tie. Team Panda now tied with the Vodafone Giants.
On the other end of that spectrum, right, you have NORDAVIND tying it up with Bandits too, despite taking that L. You know, Bandits from last week, they suffered an L as well. However, I feel like there was a slight game differential and benefit towards Bandits. So we're going to see if that actually shakes things up. The fact of the matter is right now, Vodafone Giants is going to be taking it over. Panda now in the number 2 spot off that win. A clean win. 2-0, 2-0, and 2-0 from all 3 players. And you could hear how ecstatic VEGAPATCH was. He's like, vamos! He was definitely
he legit.
About it. I love it. Another clean sweep coming in from the Giants, the Vodafone Giants, that is, over Team NORDAVIND.
Now, I'm really interested to see what the Vodafone Giants look like in the second half of the season. That was the last and the first time they got to play, and the last time they have to worry about Armika getting banned from NORDAVIND at this point. But you putting Armika back in play, that is terrifying. Like, that's actually scary because once again, you have VEGAPATCH, who's probably going to be the ban target at this point, right? Or you could steal. There's a lot of back and forth, right? I don't know how many times we've seen, we might need to get a count, Mr. Crimson versus VEGAPATCH be banned. I would love to know the standings on that we have since we've reached that half season mark, because that would kind of give us an insight on who they would potentially be looking at to remove from the playboard. I mean, if you just look at all the teams that we have here and who they've been looking at banning, you can kind of get a map of what these players are thinking and who they don't want to fight. We've already heard everybody say they don't want to fight, Fong. Obviously, nobody's trying to fight Dalsum, especially Mr. Crimson Dalsum.
No way.
And that's what you have to think about going further into the season.
And again, we want to thank Astro for being a huge part of Street Fighter League, backing all of these players with an A40 headset to make sure that they got the mix amp to go through with it to ensure the high quality sound that comes in through the game, as well as the comms to hear it nice and clear. So again, if you guys want to check it out, hit the Twitch panel below, pick up yours as we get ourselves into this interview with VEGAPATCH and Rob TV.
The Vodafone Giants coming through with a huge win at the end of the first half of the season, getting the W over Team NORDAVIND. How's it feel, brother?
It feels great. Every part of the team worked perfectly, especially Crimson. This guy is godlike. I don't understand how he is this good with so many characters that they have nothing to do with each other. He's godlike. Es un dios. Es Cristo. Infectious tampoco se queda corto. Infectious is also godlike. Love them, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I told the energy that you've been bringing up to this point. Look, after they won, your pop-off was ridiculous. Immediately, a whole lot of energy. Like, why was your energy so high for this specific set?
Because we needed this win. Yeah. We were 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses, and this one was really important for us. NORDAVIND was also 2-2, and we needed this to, on the second half of the SFL, to have a slight advantage and keep going because like half of it is still going on. So let's see how it goes. Keep working hard and prepare for every match because we're gonna give it all.
Okay, and then the last question at the end there, you guys had PHENOM. We just saw last week what he can do when he's in that final spot. He's strong enough to OCV. He's done it more than one time at this point. How confident were you if it did come down to you? Of course, Crimson played godlike, so he was able to get the debut there. But how confident were you if it came down to that Fong versus Karen match?
I was pretty confident. I think the matchup is one of Fang's good matchups in the game that really matter because Abigail, nobody cares about him right now. And I usually beat him with Karin. The one who gives me issues is Nekali, but thanks to Infectious victory, he had to stick with Karin because I think he was not feeling really comfortable playing Nekali against all the 3 of us. Yeah. So yeah, even if he's more comfortable with Nekali against me, I'm not alone.
Oh my goodness, my man. Yo, don't raise your eyebrows at me like that. It's BEGGEY. All right, guys, of course, amazing match there from the Vodafone Giants. Bro, I love your energy 100%, bro. I need to interview you more often. And of course, the action is going to keep rolling because even though we finished this one, we still have Team Panda going up against Team NASR after this break.
Welcome back, everybody, to Street Fighter League Season 4. We're going off with our second half of this week's battles, and it's going to be a big one because this is where the round robin resets, and it's as important as ever. We're getting the run back with the top 2 teams from last season in a newly reformed way through Team Panda going up against the current champs of Team NASR, and again, this is where it gets heavy.
This is really, really interesting. This is the run back from the first half of the season. This is going to be their chance. Panda did take their first meeting, and as you can see, Panda not in the best strengths right now, especially if you're looking at some of these other teams and where we've come throughout the weeks. So this is going to be important. What are the bans? We're going to get to that later. However, we've decided to switch things up just a little bit. We're going to do a dual interview. It's going to be both Punk and Big Bird standing by with Rob TV.
Yes, sir. As you guys can see, I am joined by the captains, the respective captains of their team. Of course, Big Bird, and of course, my guy Punk, the Gizzy of Team Panda. What's going on, fellas?
I'm doing good, doing good.
You doing good? What's up, Punk?
I'm doing good, but I'm very confused on why he's the captain of his team.
I thought, hold on, what do you mean by that? He's the captain of the team. He was the captain last season. Oh, he look a little salty that you asked that.
Yeah, I'm just very confused. I feel like it should be ANGRYBIRD, right?
Why?
He carried him last year.
I mean, I carried us to the win.
What win?
That Season 3 finals.
Not really, because ANGRYBIRD was still in.
Yeah, but I beat you and NEPHEW.
Yeah, it didn't matter. ANGRYBIRD probably would have done the same thing.
But I won twice.
Yeah, but y'all wouldn't have been there without ANGRYBIRD. ANGRYBIRd, you are the captain if you hear this.
I mean,
okay, but hold on. So there's so much here. Like, do you guys have some type of history? Like, what's the? I know you guys are the homies, but what's the tournament history with you guys? Or I feel like I always hear you guys talking. I'm pretty sure the finals he's talking about, he did win 20 bans per person off of you guys specifically. How did that feel for you? Do you care? Or did that make you mad?
No, not really.
No?
No.
I
beat him. I mean, it was a big win for me.
What did you say?
I beat him in combo breaker, you know, when it's one-on-one, no team and stuff.
Yeah.
When it's only me and him.
Yeah.
He never gets it done.
I mean, but that wasn't for 20K though.
Oh!
I qualified to Capcom Cup off of you.
No, you already qualified.
No,
You already qualified.
that solidified it.
You already qualified.
Well, you know, right now the top two teams, as we thought coming in, you know, right now everyone would look at you guys as the favorite still up to this point.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, their team is broken.
So
Yeah.
no, they are the number one favorite by
kind
far.
of favorites, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you guys
they're
are
the favorites, but like you have me, nephew, and Justin. Justin don't
You're
play
not
the
playing,
game.
yeah.
So you know, when you look at it, we're down one guy. We just gotta hope that Justin can get it back during the season.
Yeah, I agree.
But the other teams that's in here are technically better than us. I think we are the worst team, but we are so godlike that we still somehow manage to be in top two.
I'm gonna say something about that.
Ooh.
We live in UAE,
Okay.
where we play only 2 players to practice with.
Yeah.
And we got no events over there. Not even online events.
Yeah, that's true.
Only CBT events. So if you think about it, the practice we're getting in UAE is nowhere near close
To what people
what
like Punk
America-
have. Yeah.
Not Punk. He trolls all the time online, so I don't really give it to him. But like practice in general, like in Europe or the US or even Japan.
The bigger scenes.
Yeah.
Thank you for excluding me. I play random select all the time. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean,
bro.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
I don't cap.
But when you talk about your, but when you talk about, why you say that? But when you talk about like your team, like technically being the worst, where are you getting that from though? That you guys have Punk the guy, and of course, Nephew is ridiculous now. Like he's gotten to dark net form.
Yeah, I think if you couldn't ever ban Colleen, yes, my secondaries are actually my mains, so I don't have secondaries. I just main
Alternates.
a lot of characters. No, not alternates. They're my mains. But yeah, I think since they can ban Nephew, then it kind of puts a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah.
To get an OCV if Justin doesn't get the win. So you know, I feel like that for that reason, it starts to make our team very, very weak. But you know, I'm godlike, so putting me in the OCV position is not that bad.
Bet,
Yeah, it's like kinda the pressure when even if it's 3 of them against just me, the pressure is actually on them.
He said 3 of them, and he pointed at you 2 times.
Yeah, if it's just 3, if it's 1 of me versus the 3 of NASR, it's like a 3v3 because my pressure and aura is so strong that they get mad nervous.
Ooh, is that accurate?
He especially gets nervous when he play me.
We're gonna see.
Oh, you sounding soft. What you talking about?
We're gonna see. I mean,
do you think he's nervous at all? Like
I do think he's nervous.
Seriously, because you know he's on one hand he's doing his Punk thing. He's talking that talk.
Yes.
On the other hand, he
backs it up, but
and he does back it up.
It's a tough job.
It is.
It is.
It is a tough job.
And,
If he says he doesn't get nervous, that's kind of cap.
I didn't say I didn't get nervous.
Yeah, exactly. I think he can back it up, but
I think y'all get more nervous playing me than I am nervous.
Not in this next one.
You will.
Because the next one, even if we lose, it's still 4-2.
Yeah, but you gonna feel the pressure.
So do you specifically? Do you specifically feel like for you guys' next match, you know, because you guys, this is the first run back we're having in all the Street Fighter League, and the first one you guys did get the victory over Team NASR. Right now, do you feel like there's a lot on the line at all with this next match? Like even from a mental standpoint, like remember when it was the Warriors versus the Cavs? Like before, even in the regular season, it was like, all right, on Christmas, you want to send a message to that squad low key, even though it don't matter. Like, do you think this is kind of like that?
I mean, for my team, you know, our team is not broken and we don't have like the 3 great players, you know. We just got a bunch of content creators.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so since we don't have any pro players on our team, we actually have to win our matches. While they just got 3 broken people.
I'm not a player anymore, I'm a gym head. I just do this for fun.
No, you're Big Bird. Adele Anuch is a gym head.
Your team actually has no content creators.
Yeah, none.
No, just 2 gym.
So you actually should 3-0 them low key.
Technically, right?
So as far as you know, the rest of the teams here, or have you guys been surprised about any squad, like as far as like how good they're doing? Like the Giants, NORDAVIND, even Bandits. You didn't see MENARD with the OCV, bro. Like, you know, they're not in the buried at all. Or are you surprised with how UYU is doing right now?
I don't really think I'm surprised by anything, to be honest. Bandits, I'm maybe a little surprised that they got wins without Kaba, because Mena has to kind of carry the whole load. It's kind of like the NORDAVIND thing without Luffy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Phenom, everything is on him. But yeah, I think that everything right now is pretty much how I would expect it to be.
I expected UYU to do better, to be honest, with NL.
Yeah, but I guess he did lose
get
twice.
to play Cammy a couple times.
Yeah.
Because we played twice, yes, and they both lost in that.
Yeah.
So I did expect them, UYU, to do better in general, like compared to last year, because last year was kind of, can't get worse than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they already better.
Yeah. So I kind of expect them to do a lot better this time. With not just with NL, it's just with the added confidence.
Just as a whole, yeah.
Yeah, added confidence of like having NL in the back, yeah. But I guess they haven't been really performing.
Okay, and the one last thing I wanted to ask you guys about, now that since I have both of you here, I brought this up earlier in the season, right? And there's been some talk behind the scenes about this sort of thing, even though I don't know if you guys are aware of it. But with you guys being pretty friendly, buddy with each other, and of course you having I can't even really say the edge, like you, I guess usually winning you guys encounters, and being looked at as like the top player. When you are on stage, there's a whole lot of chatter with each other, whole lot of laughter, whole lot of jokes. I see a smirk on your face right now. It's a devilish grin. Is there any mind game going on there at all with that? Do you think that disarms your opponents at all? And do you think that it's okay for you to be doing that sort of things? Or, does it power him up?
I think it's fine, to be honest, for me.
Yeah, I don't think the mind games is there. I think the mind games is kind of when me and Big Bird plays in casuals, and
to be honest, he does fuck me up in casuals.
I think that's the mind game is there.
But
yeah, okay.
Casuals, casuals does show who the better player is, which I'm not denying he's better than me, obviously. But the tournament,
don't say that.
What?
Why don't you want him to say that?
That's bad energy.
No, because in tournaments,
but I want your energy as high as possible so I can.
I'll show you in tournaments.
Talk that.
Want to pair up together?
We could.
No, hold on. What do you mean we could? Listen, no, we're not doing that. Like we see a boxing, and we're like, people, no. People say, oh, let's bet money, and then the cameras cut off and they never set it up. We're gonna get it right here, right now. Are we gonna get Big Bird and Punk pairing up?
I'm have to ask my team, to be honest. I'm thinking of the team.
You're the captain, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so everything comes full circle, right? You're the captain. It's your choice.
That's not my choice. I gotta consult the team.
Nah, you're the captain, bro.
Big Bird.
What if they disagree with me?
Okay, so if they're with it, then you're with it.
I guess so. You can do it. It's fine with me.
I'll pair up with you anyway. You know I'm the master pairer, so like even if you try to, you can't.
I'm not trying to avoid you. I'm gonna have to play eventually, so I'm not.
Oh, so you heard that, right? So that means he expects his team to lose if he's gonna play me eventually.
You said you're gonna have to play him tomorrow.
Yeah.
The last one.
No, okay, you just said eventually, so you know that I'm gonna beat your other two teammates and get to you, huh?
Not a problem, get sent to you. Or ANGRYBIRD as well.
You know confidence in your teammates, huh?
Goodness, guys, listen. These guys could go all day. I could not wait to see what happens in that next match. And of course, this is the marquee matchup as far as a possible finals matchup. We are seeing the best of the best here at Street Fighter League week in and week out. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Team Panda's Punk the God and Team NASR's Big Bird.
Lots of smack talk between these two. And believe it or not, I know that's the first time we've shown it on camera, but let me just rest you assured, they do this all the time. Literally throughout
every single time.
season.
About everything, by the way.
About
not even just
everything,
Street Fighter. They just go back and forth with each other. Not even just like the teams. Because, Nephew and Justin Wong, they're just there for the ride. I feel like it's mostly Punk. And then it's the same with like ANGRYBIRD and Problem X. It's just going to be Big Bird instead. It's always those two just kind of like going at each other.
Well, these two teams are going to be going at each other. What are the bans that we're looking at for this team battle?
Obviously, NASR is aiming towards Nephew this time around. This is going to be the last time they get to ban this team, or at least one of the characters from this team. They want to ensure the highest chance of victory by going with that Colleen pick. On the other hand, Panda is actually going for Zeku, aiming the trigger over at ANGRYBIRD and limiting him to play Seth. But that's not really limiting.
It's not really that limiting. Yeah, I can tell you that right now.
So in comparison to the last band that they played against each other, right, Bison was the pick, and that's where Problem X was like, I can't believe they did this. And it's like, you had to expect that. You had to expect that. And you see Nephew taking a kin to Sakura. And I do like it, though. I do like the control that Nephew has with playing the footsie department. I think Sakura does a really great job at that with her normals as well, getting some of the best confirmable lights in the game. Also, that leads to even more dangerous situations. Big Bird has to question himself. It's like, do I actually go for the Rashid pick, or do I pick Ken?
It's looking like the Ken. It's definitely going to be the Ken. And NEPHEW locking in with Sakura?
Has to, I feel like. I mean, he also has a Rose, a very competent one at that.
I really like his Rose. I feel like him playing Rose is a complete stark difference from him playing Colleen, because she shuts down the neutral in a different way. Now you're shutting down the neutral with fireballs, but we'll get into that when we get there. This is going to be Sakura for NEPHEW. Big Bird going with the Ken.
Yeah, a lot of the normals also to look out for from Sakura. Her medium kicks are pretty good. It's kind of similar to something like a Karen. Yeah, look at that trade off with the fireball. But her roundhouse takes up a ton of space similar to Karen's. Her low medium kick, not as far reaching, but still a big threat. I think what you're looking for is, the mediums, the stand light kick. Boom, you see it already. Converting off of the lights like that, very good reward from him.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Ooh, wake up EXDP this time. Back to the corner you go. Big Bird, no stranger to it.
The fireball, that is not a true block string. Out of the corner, good amount of damage. Watch out for the throw instead. The back medium punch, target combo. Almost dead. The Oki situation. Back-to-back pressure from Big Bird from one corner to the other. First round of game 1.
Dash up jab, really getting the pace started. That stand medium punch. And this is one of the things for contention I feel like we were talking about, is that I heard ANGRYBIRD talking about, is that medium punch from Ken, being able to control the neutral, canceling the fireball as well. So this one, real good too. You touched on the range of those roundhouses as well. Ken and Karen and even Sakura in some instances have a great range on both of them.
Oh, wow. I thought you were allowed to neutral jump that. Ooh, the slight delay and the big counter hit conversion from NEPHEW. The throw is, the stun is imminent.
Oh, not a real block string. EX to get through. One round apiece in game number 1. Big smile on Big Bird's face right now. Ready for the crosscut DP, and so was ANGRYBIRD. I could tell by the yell.
I love that confirm. I'm telling you, man, Big Bird's got it all. Seeing this Ken come out in offline scenarios is a whole different beast.
Almost got through that bad boy. Look at the lively in the jab.
Oh, again! That's great. That is huge for Big Bird. Nullifying the threat of V-trigger, all the while getting the trade damage. That is so good.
Taking his time here. Oh my God, the low forward, CA confirmed, and Big Bird like another day at the office.
I was waiting for you to do it again. Oh my God, that was so sick. Punk straight up calling him a bum.
Man, Alpha Ken with the ponytail. Capcom, I gotta let you know, one of the greatest creations you've ever done.
The lore behind it too, the little hair tie, that's reused hairband. That's why he wears the red one now.
Man.
Oh, it's vice versa actually. Ken gives him the red band.
Ken gives him the red band.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Man, long hair Ken, why didn't he keep it?
I don't know, bro. I actually do like short hair Ken as well. It's not many people or fictional characters that I can say that for. Nice low forward confirm into the EX Tatsu. Gonna get the knockdown in the corner.
Trying to refix the space outside of the corner, using the fireballs as a way of backup to keep it safe. The light conversion again into Oki makes a pretty solid character if you ask me.
Can't believe he actually checked right there with the jab. Oh! Yo, Big Bird giving a visual confirmation that he knew it was coming. Actually nodded before he did it, but he did nod there. Little trigger left for Sakura, looking for a hit, and every time that NEPHEW tries to do anything, he's checked by a jab from Big Bird. This could be the set point right here.
Did you see the bravery there from Big Bird just walking up into his space? Stand short yet again, interruption from NEPHEW. Still trying to find space on the board. He hasn't gotten one yet. Yes, sir, air to air. Jump, medium punch into the Tatsu. Go forward, confirm, getting himself out of the corner. The back dash away from NEPHEW. Good defensive decision. Put into the corner again. Crosscut DP comes out. Big Bird looking for high damage.
Uh-oh, this is not good. Big Bird with the lead. EX to get the plus frames as well. Low fortune right here. Tetsuyu didn't. Oh no, just regular. Shoryurepa. And that's the stun, and that means it's done. First game of this run back. Not gonna go to Panda. It's gonna go to NASR.
Counter pick you, Neff.
told you were going to play Ken. I knew he was going to pick him, though. Don't make it to me. You better pray Problem beat me. I'm going to beat you senseless for counter picking my teammate. I'm going to beat you senseless. You're going to feel the matchup. You're going to see what a bad matchup is today.
Yo, Punk. You gonna learn today. You gonna counterpick my team? My nephew? Shoutouts to Astro letting us hear all that. Those A40s doing a damn good job of making the sound crisp. Swappable boom mics, empty backs, as well as customizable speaker tags. The A40. Shoutouts to Astro holding down the FGC and SFL. That's Street Fighter League Season 4. I had to do an extra commercial.
We heard it in full force with the Dolby surround sound. No lag, no interference, and software to customize voice and EQ. But don't get it twisted. That was actually his voice in full effect.
Punish his crouch heavy kick because he'll look for that. But also he might do slide into shoulder, so you don't want to press there one block because when he steals our move, he get a free slide. So you can like DP or super it maybe. That's like the best thing you can do, but you don't want to try to hit it because he might try to get the trade combo with Sap. And so
I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
I think he might beat me.
So that and his
Rashid,
random, so he'll get shimmy before help, or he might take the throw. And when he's in the corner, he's going to always try to jump out.
Okay.
For Rose.
Oh, stopping.
Okay.
Angry Bird going back and forth. First thought I went, I think I can beat him. And then later, I don't think I'm going to beat him. In the
I thought it was Rose. He's like, I thought it was Rose. I mean, if he was paying close attention, we saw a solid glimpse at Justin Wong's Karin, right? Shades of Season 1 and even 2, for that matter. It's going to be very pivotal, right?
Oh, there's going to be some nice build up here. Big Bird takes the first W. Now we got Justin Wong going in against Angry Bird, the Karen, back out to play. A more active Justin, I'd like to say as well. Catch the throw, low forward.
Yes, sir. Always ready for the landing, just in case the axe kick whiffs. But this is going to be that situation that Punk was talking about, right? Yes, the shoulder. You got to make sure you do not try to steal in between, or you will get traded, depending on what came beforehand.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, wow. What an interrupt. That Annihilation Sword is really keeping Justin in check. Okay, using that V skill. No trigger. Justin has trigger active, but Angry Bird is literally not letting him get anything started. And a bunch of trigger left down there for Justin to operate with, and just not able to get anything started versus Angry Bird.
Yeah, a lot of the threat from V skill is what was on Justin's mind, but for the most part, Angry Bird still able to let it rock. Also did V-shift too to kind of get himself out of that negative scenario where he had to guess, but no confirms again here from Justin Wong. The low forward did hit, but now in a plus scenario, Angry Bird is stealing turns away.
Yeah, he's definitely stealing stuff right now. There you go. You got to contest with that medium kick. And both Angry and Big Bird really good at checking your approaches. Like, if you do it and you're not supposed to, instantly hit you with the jab. See a little check there from Justin. Tries to dash in after fighting a hit. Big damage on the table, especially after this activation. Dash up, forward throw again. Oh, back throw this time.
Oh, that's the situation right there. After the cutting heavy punch, but Justin
spend
not
it.
having
Gotta spend it. Gotta spend it. Gotta spend it. Spin the win.
More than enough. Boom on the board. Justin Wong. Spinning a nice chunk of change.
You know, I thought it was like, is it going to kill or is it not going to kill?
And now you know our strength.
Exactly. All you guys out there judging.
You hear it right there. You hear it from Justin. I thought it was going to kill. I thought it was.
Checking on the legs.
Opting to go for the V-skill build up.
Counter hit. That's going to be stunned for sure. Let me get some meter on top of a big damage on the table. Coming from Justin Wong. Goes for the reset. Backs up a little bit. This is going to give Angry Bird a chance. Activation on the trigger is trigger 1.
You pressed the crouch jab after the activation. I can't believe it. Angry Bird now trying to steal turns. Forward throw now. Again, another one. Justin Wong's not going to bite here. On the way down, the stun is going to be there. Plus.
Oh my God.
That was godlike.
Angry Bird, no!
Stupid, bro.
I didn't know he could do that.
I forgot about that. He's done it once in casuals. I forgot you can even do that.
Bruh, I was actually in awe.
Only because it hits one time, so you can do heavy DP.
That was actually broken.
That was actually ridiculous. Can I get digital scissors on that, please? Justin looked like he was mounting a big comeback here. That Annihilation Sword is doing so much work. Also, V skill.
I still can't believe he actually timed it.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Cruel Disaster, follow up with the V trigger. You thought you could V reversal me? No, I felt it. I felt it in my bones.
Oh, no, that's not good. Installing forward throw. Okay, holds that. Still has to be careful. He has that move.
Oh, you get to confirm off of that. EX mad, cradle to stun. You're actually nasty for that.
Oh,
is he living? He's more than
dead.
No,
oh no, that's not more than the V barrier.
Oh my god.
Justin trying to make something happen here with less than a pixel, and the medium kick is gonna do it. This situation, almost impossible for Justin to bring it back, but you never count Justin out. Never count Justin out.
And he still ran into it. I understand he thought it was going to be the ender of V-skill to kind of catch the punish. But even Big Bird was kind of surprised about that. Side switch? Yes, he does. Go for it. Forward throw now in the corner. What a punish. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I know.
Oh, the shimmy. Spend it.
Shimmy.
You got to spend it. Got to spend it. Takes the knockdown.
Back throw will do it, so Angry Bird knew it as well. Looking for the trigger activation, finds it off the sweep, waiting for the back throw.
Oh, gets to confirm. Wow, wake up button from Justin. Gets him another round. Needs this round to make this a fight. Needs this next round to make this a fight. And I'm going to tell you right now, Panda is in dire straits of this W, bro. They need this W.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the second half. That was a great whiff punish. Here comes Angry Bird. Dash up. What's going to be the pressure? Tick throw into the corner. Can't do it again. Check yourself. Here comes the trigger activation. Man! That would have been huge. Another mix coming in from the side of Angry Bird.
And that should be that perfect on the side of NASR. And this run back don't look like it's doing nothing but running fast for NASR. That's 2 battles down. Justin eliminated. NEPHEW eliminated. The shoulders of Punk have to be strong here. Get my man a brace for the back. He's going to need it for this one.
Well, you know, if you look at their last encounter, Team Panda pretty much did the exact same thing. They ran their course over Team NASR, where it was 2 games straight, and then Punk had to be the last person to deliver. Problem is, you know, what was it? Big Bird was the one that actually got the OC, or attempted for the OCV. Yeah. Actually started to make that comeback. Towards the end, Punk actually got it over Big Bird. It was 2-1, but it was very, very close, right? That OCV almost happened.
Yeah. Well, here we go, though.
Is this the run back? Actually,
the real problem is X. You gotta, this is
solve
math.
for X, please.
This is the equation. Remember how they told you to pay attention in math class? They were talking about Street Fighter League and problem X versus Punk, because this is going to be tough. If he can figure out this math problem, because he did beat problem X's Honda last time.
2-0. That is correct. Yeah, because Bison was the ban. But is it even going to happen? I like this choice. We've talked about this choice before. Alex being able to kind of counter poke Karen in the ranges that she's comfortable with.
It's all 6'5".
She doesn't have the tools necessary to kind of combat on defense.
Not all the time. Alex doesn't have any good wake-ups. Obviously, I ain't going to say any good wake-ups.
I don't think she has any good viable situations for playing defense on wake-up.
Oh, no, that's definitely true. Slash elbow, a good option here.
And this is what I want to see, right? Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to get it too many times over, because if Punk gets a hit of that, he understands what's necessary to interrupt. Big confirm.
Okay, spinning it. Oh, the shimmy. Okay. Oh, wow, crouch jab, straight. Oh, this is going to hurt.
That's a big boot, dash up, lariat, put him to sleep.
What's the Oki? Grab. Yeah.
Slap chop. Lariat plus scenario, backs away to safety. Punk is going to be chilling. D-reversal, I like that.
Gets a little gray life. Makes it a lot easier for any hit to do it. Going to slow down the pace for Problem X here. Problem X can definitely still take it if you would have found a hit, but that stand medium kick, a good range tool to keep any character in bay.
If he actually let the boot rock actually hit with a roundhouse crush counter, I think he would have done it. Oh!
Not sure what that was, actually.
Not what he wanted. Oh, you know already Punk was after that. I think that's what Problem X wanted, right? EX hits
the
first
EX
time. checking the movement afterwards. A little bit of damage.
Oh, the whip
boy.
punish and the charge and the V skill could be reversal. Knocks out the V trigger.
Anti-air.
Medium.
AKS. Watch out for the command grab. EX for Senha from the side of Punk. Activation from the sweep. Back throw in full control now, but still at a life deficit.
I did. Crouching medium punch confirmed into trigger. Gonna give you that heavy swipe too. Get a heavy punch after that.
Checking with that crouching medium punch just in case Punk wants to move forward, but he's gonna try to play the whiff punish game instead. The problem is he kind of puts himself into the corner exactly where Problem X wants him. It's not gonna be too bad of an idea. What?
Yeah, you get that charge again, and you get that EX follow-up.
My man just slapped the fierce on him.
Oh, wow, the stand medium punch? Yo, Punk.
You saw a counter hit on the side of Problem X. Did catch a button press from Punk as he used that slash elbow. Another slash elbow coming your way. Nothing to interrupt it though. Nice and easy. Problem X is really starting to set this pace out with a lot of the mediums and then firing away with the counter poke. You see him whiff that stand heavy punch. That's going to be big intel for Punk. Just looking for these normals to whiff punish now, but he has to be very careful in how he wants to make it happen, how he wants that normal to come back out again.
Looking for a low forward, finally gets it, gonna push to this corner, but still a lot of damage left to be done. Trigger on the table. There's the activation after the block, crouch, and medium punch. Could have confirmed. Actually could have confirmed right there. Oh, whiff punish, but he's gonna spend it. Definitely gonna spend it. I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead though.
After 2 hits?
Oh, never mind. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
Hey, Justin couldn't see it before. We couldn't see it. It's fine.
Yo, Punk just looking back at the rest of the team. Yo, him and Big Bird still taunting each other right now.
Round 1. Fight.
Problem X down a game right now.
And it wasn't for lack of trying. Honestly, it was tied up in the rounds in that sequence. Problem X was trying to figure out what's ooh, boy. A slightly aggressive, a more aggressive Punk in terms of movement. But look at all the heavies just flying out.
You're dead.
Charge it up.
Big swipe.
AKS. That's a perfect.
Bro, when Alex started doing combos, oh, it looks so sick.
It's so nasty. It's actually so nasty. Ooh, speaking of nasty, standing medium punch against that button, it's that good. That needs to be a t-shirt. Oh, I'm telling you, it's that button. Oh, dear God almighty. Oh, my God. Throw. Nice tech. That would have been a big stun. It doesn't matter what your name is.
He gets a meter. It's gonna hurt.
Reset. Oh, boy.
Yeah, no, he didn't have the resources to kill.
I think if he might have gone for like the EX Orochi, possibly kill if he wanted to spend that much bar.
Okay. Defense looking really good for Punk right here.
Oh.
What a check. Stand, light kick, not gonna do it. 1 round from starting the rounds here. Punk needs this one though. Needs this one before we go any further.
Standing medium punch. It's a good button. That's going to be the tool right now as Punk is looking for the normal. But it's never been like the anticipation of the low medium kicks against Problem X. It's been finding the mark a good amount of times. And that's great, right? Getting yourself ready for the counter poke just in case Punk is not ready for the timing. Against the couch medium kick.
Big
oh, boy.
crush and just delayed it a bit too long. That was a big chance for damage right there. Forward throw, CA still available for Alex. 2 boots, not going to work.
I thought that was on the other side.
Yeah, neutral jumping really does, it's really good because unless they do the stun gun headbutt, should be fine.
Check the low forward, there's the boot, looking for any sort of mediums is Problem X, plus frames after that. What's Punk gonna do? He's still gonna stay in his lane and try to get, oh boy, at least the medium. Here comes the reversal, yes sir, from Punk. Had to relieve the pressure, but look at all the meter being spent from Problem. Not quite dead yet. A throw will do it, and he will do it.
The power bomb to close out one more match right now, and that slow and steady game lets you know who's in control. If this going slow, I feel sorry for whoever's fighting Alex, because that means he's slowly but surely gearing up to take you out 1 match apiece here. This could be the end of this team battle if Problem X can close out.
Alex is definitely the character that make you feel so bad about your decision making. If it's wrong, he will make you hurt dearly for it.
Neutral jump, looking for the stomp, but no meter there.
I'm telling you, he is setting Punk up right now. He's setting him up and trying to get involved with a lot of these normals. Like he wants to whiff punish this. All right, I'll make him think it's coming out. Instead, I'm going to hit him in the face with the spears. Side switch off of the Gurenken. Down punch follow-up. There's the throw. Plus frames again. EX% not afraid to let the risks fly.
Tried to go for another throw. Trigger's on the table for Alex. There's the last of the trigger. Heavy kick. Activate. Ducks the lariat. Wasn't prepared, but Punk playing at a very dangerous range. He could have died. He would have been hurt. He would have been hurt. Ooh, he would have been hurt. He might not be dead, but he would have been hurt.
It would have been a DDT OP scenario.
Any one of these confirms from a special move will go into the V-trigger follow-up. He's not dead, though.
Not enough. Didn't have the extra bar to do it. 3 light kicks, checking with a low afterwards. And of course, that sequence, you're forcing that man to guess. But there was no interruption on the command dash from the side of Problem X. Punk actually smiled after that. He's like, oh, you weren't ready for this.
Stand medium punch.
Ooh.
Crouching medium kick this time.
Ooh. Just inching his way forward just within range. And he's just tempting Punk to press a button. Look at him.
That slash elbow covers a lot of good ground, and light quick kick one.
With punish. That roundhouse that Punk let rip earlier, still counter poking his way. Problem X being a little bit more active.
Oh. Lariat, crouching medium kick, and you see Problem X backing up. Wants to control that range still. That light kick, side switch. Yep.
Yes, sir. Off the level send hub, big tech, very important point at that because now it's going to give Problem X a lot of time to get all of these plus advantages. Oh! You tucked him in from that far! Long distance night.
Okay, wait a minute. Side switch. No. Fights out of the corner. Back throw for the side switch. There's the activation on the trigger.
Oh, the DDT fight! Damn, that's a lot of damage!
That was crispy.
Put her in the dirt, head first.
Yo, this is trouble. Panda in trouble right now. If this goes the way Problem X wants it to go, that's going to be a team sweep. Hold these lariats.
Slash elbow finding just a little bit of damage at the very end. No anti-air from Bomb!
Look at the damage, though. Look at the damage, though. Hyper. Ball. Lots of meter and resources on the side of Punk right here. He needs this round.
Oh, that's so far away. Even after 2 light kicks, still being able to pressure afterwards. Back away, back it up.
V-Trigger has really been what's gotten Problem X back into these games. And the consistent harassment with the slash elbow. Punk trying to move.
Tuck it in, bomb! Do it again. Oh, he knew. He knew he's in threat. He's in danger. Oh, 8% not great reaction.
That's gonna be that the full team sweep on the side of NASR to knock out Panda from this week's team battles. That's gonna put them at 3-3, giving Vodafone Giants a solid second place victory going into the second half of the season. Look at the team bans that we just dealt with. That was Colleen and Zeku, and personally, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this was really, really hard. This was really, really hard. Problem X getting the W. I was actually going to say, why not the Bison? The Alex does the job.
Yes,
that V-Trigger 2, man, that clutch V-Trigger 2, crouching medium kick into trigger activation.
We were waiting for it to come out, right? There was so many instances where he checked. No, he missed something. He didn't even let it rip, right? He checked the movement so many times. It was only in that last set of the game
where he actually
got him where it mattered the most, and that was pivotal. Same with the hyper bombs, right? We didn't see it as much him employing, or excuse me, using that strategy to use the EX to get that extra range, getting that extra damage was the best time to actually use it against Punk, right? That fear of powerbomb is something that is really saved for the last part of that set, because you're not really thinking about it. It's in the back of your mind, but if somebody is actually just throwing out a bunch of normals, a bunch of these elbows, and you're thinking to yourself, it's like, man, there's even more pressure. It's bound to come out sooner than later. It's just a matter of when.
Punk was trying to check after that slash elbow, and it got him in trouble quite a few times. Set him up for a hype up, a power bomb or two, and even just a stand light kick follow up right after it. So I really feel like it was one of those things where Punk was expecting Problem X to back off. Problem X just held his ground and then slowly but surely start leaking the power bombs, the hyper bombs into the routine, and that's what got that victory. Just solid play. It looked, the speed the first match went, it was all Punk at that point. But that's why you got to keep your wits about you.
I don't know, man. I feel like Problem X did a very solid job of setting the pace overall, right? He's throwing out some of these normals and getting Punk used to seeing them at these ranges. He's like, all right, well, I understand how phenomenal you are when it comes to whiff punishing. I'm going to use that to my advantage, actually. I'm going to make you pay for having such good eyes, right? That's actually been one of Problem X's strengths is turning your biggest strengths into weaknesses. And he did that very well by setting it up. If you look carefully at the VODs, you can kind of see the motions he's going through. He's like, I'm going to throw out these little mediums here, and then I'm going to start firing away with counter punches. I want to see what you have in store for me when you throw out these mediums. But again, there wasn't too much to be said throughout the entirety of that team. You could hear you could feel the confidence from Team NASR. Big Bird and Angry Bird, they were just giving him like, the nice, let's go. Yeah. There wasn't any like significant value to the communication because Problem X already knew what had to be done in order to triumph over Punk.
Well, I mean, just keeping that space between them, the pokes working out. Like you said, it was kind of like that gradual buildup. Great pokes coming from Problem X with Alex. And that was one of the first things we noticed that we touched on about that matchup. Alex got some great range pokes using that V-Trigger 2 on top of it. We didn't see the really big payoff of it until that last game. But it did what it was supposed to do. Good turnaround, good pacing on the side of Problem X just to keep control. And that's what's going to give NASR that team battle victory over Panda, getting the run back this time around and taking them down a notch. Panda's not looking too good in the second part of the season already, but there's still games to play.
There's still plenty more to games, and of course, a lot of these games are because of Astro being a big part of Street Fighter League with those A40 headsets that you've seen on each and every one of these players week after week. Of course, 10 years of support with the FGC. These guys have been doing great work as well as being the headset and mix amp for a lot of these events. So again, big shout out to Astro. Check it out right now down below over the Twitch panel to pick yours up as we gear up for this interview with Problem X from Team NASR standing by with Rob TV.
For an entire season, one of the best players on planet Earth had to watch from across the pond as he saw everyone else get the glory, get the shine, get to compete, as Problem X couldn't make it to Street Fighter League last season because of restrictions and things of that nature. But now the man is clearly entirely unrestricted, entirely unleashed, and we saw what he can do. Problem, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel amazing, like won a crucial match with Alex, a character everyone says is non-existent. So yeah, I'm feeling good about that one, especially as Punk was talking that stuff. I had to remind him that, I'm still about.
So I just heard, when you said that, I heard Angry Bird and Big Bird like, the energy was interesting on this one. I mean, I heard Punk over there saying that he's gonna, you better pray Problem even can beat me at all because he said he's gonna beat Big Bird senseless. At least 2 times he said that. And behind the scenes, everybody might not, you may have seen it on Twitter or whatever by now, but you guys talked about actually meeting up in brackets. You called Punk out and said, yo, let's make sure we are in the same slot to play.
Yeah, no, because we had a bet, it's like if I play you in the head-to-head, I bet that I would win, and he bet that he would win, obviously. So I had to see it through.
Okay, and I mean, what are you gonna buy with his money?
You can't buy pride. You can't buy pride.
Talk that talk. Okay, so I did have one more question. No, actually 2 more questions. So right now, you just put them down to 3-3. They were looked at as you guys' main competitors overall. Maybe they can still be looked at that way. I feel like it's a bit debatable right now. But now you all are 5-1, just looking ridiculous. For the rest of this season, I mean, I think you're probably guaranteed the playoffs at this point. How are you approaching the rest of this season? Do you want to just dominate from this point on just to send a message, or are you approaching the season in a bit different way now?
I always want to win every game, and I try and play 100%, and I try and play based on the strategies that will make us win the entire set, as it is a team tournament. So I'm not taking my foot off the gas, and I will definitely be making sure nobody else of our team does, even though they wouldn't want to anyway, because they are great teammates like that. So yeah.
Last question I have for you: Problem X, is NA free?
No, I wouldn't say NA is free. You got some top, you got Punk, you got the absence of IDOM and some other great competitors. So I'm not going to say NA is free. It's definitely tough. But, with regards to me, myself, my mentality to competing in the FGC as a whole is my livelihood. So I don't play games when I'm playing games. It's as simple as that.
my Problem X. Listen, he's picking backs right now, bro. My guy putting on one of the best performances that we've seen throughout. I mean, I'm talking about not just as far as we get right there with the Alex, but throughout this entire season, we haven't really seen the Bison pretty much at all. We've seen Alex, we've seen Honda, two characters that are not considered like super top tier characters, but when you have top tier talent like my man's right here, of course you're still gonna get victories. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't only have talent here on the player side, we also have people on the mic like my guys Vicious and Steve who are going to be taking it away after the Astro listen-in.
Okay, perfect. You still have meter. Kill him. Perfect.
Really nice. You know that you can finish the heavies with your sweep. Don't forget that. But you got it out of that. Perfect.
You better pray Problem beat me. I'm gonna beat you senseless for counter-picking my teammate. I'm gonna beat you senseless. You gonna feel the matchup. You gonna see what a bad matchup is today.
Right.
Nice play, bro. That's close.
Close, but he got it.
It's okay. Even though you couldn't see it, it's okay. Just keep playing the neutral like you are. You're winning the neutral. You're playing good.
Ladies and gentlemen, here with Street Fighter League Season 4, getting through to both of those team battles, we just broke through the second half of the tournament, right? We're going through that second round robin, and what a way to kick it off. But we can't forget what happened before that, right? We saw that tiebreaker between the Vodafone Giants as well as NORDAVIND. We saw how it broke through. It was a clean sweep, and then immediately following through afterwards, you saw 2 and 2 and 2. You almost saw the same deal with NASR versus Panda in an unexpected turn of events towards the end, where we saw Problem X picking Alex over Punk's Karin and taking it down 2-1 still. 3 games straight from both sides. Steve, how are you feeling about these matches right now?
Look, I'm excited we get to see Alex, my man with the Tims, rocking it, killing it in Street Fighter League. That's what I'm happy to see, because you know I'm an Alex player. But I like to see how close the rankings are right now, how close the standings are. I mean, we do have a definite first place with NASR holding it down, but everything under that, I feel like it could change up a little bit. That top 4 is what you really want to go for heading into the playoffs, and you can see a lot of the teams starting to kick it into high gear when it gets closer and closer to it. If we look back at the matches today or just this week, they have been stupid. The Vodafone Giants versus the NORDAVIND has actually been crazy to me, and just the fact that NASR and the Panda run back went so clean on the side of NASR was scary. And keep in mind, that's with Bison, not the target of the ban.
It didn't even matter for Problem X.
It didn't even matter for Problem X, man.
I don't even know why he was complaining in the beginning. That's actually mad funny when you think about it, right? But you're looking at the results from this run back between NASR and Panda. I think the order had a lot to do with it. Big Bird actually took down NEPHEW the last time as well, and then ANGRYBIRD taking down Justin Wong, really picking the pieces carefully in terms of player order, and intentionally putting Problem X back against Punk was actually pretty critical.
Yeah, they were really talking up the run back, right? They were just like, yo, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do this to you. You saw it in the interview. The smack talk was there. You even heard Punk talking on the stage like, yo, I'm gonna beat the sleeves off of you. Just going in on Big Bird. And I like that. You gotta antagonize him a little bit. Really trying to, like, you know, talk him into it. But Problem X, the new guy here on this team anyway, just really kind of setting the tone like, yeah, you guys got talking to each other, but you really need to be worried about how this competition is gonna play out. Because Problem X is looking like the namesake, a big problem.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's take a look at the standings and what has transpired thus far into the second half of Street Fighter League. As you see up above, NASR with another W under their belt. Vodafone Giants with a very impressive shift into this second place spot, right? You saw, again, VEGAPATCH, INFEXIOUS, and Mr. Crimson all putting in the work. 2 games apiece, sitting at number 2. Panda just taking that L at 3-3, going in at 3rd. NORDAVIND and BANDITS, respectively 4th and 5th, with the same kind of record. It came down to the differential. And of course, UYU at the bottom right now, 1-4. Still not going to be the last we see of them, because they still have plenty more games to play. They've only played 5 thus far, but this gives them another chance for redemption, considering everything that's gone on in the first half. And of course, how many times NL is no longer banned.
Yeah, this is really you're gonna see a shift in things here. Remember how Luffy was not playing Armika? That that might change. Remember the lack of Rashid we've been seeing? That might change. The lack of Bison, that might change. And that sets up our next week's battles. And here they are. We're going to have UYU trying to make a change, going up against the Vodafone Giants. And then our second team battle is going to be Bandits versus NASR. We just saw NASR come off an amazing win. Bandits really struggling to get to this comfortable part of the season, and they're going to have to do it faster, especially if they want to make some changes for the second half. And then, of course, UYU, they really need to step it up, man. But you can see them making changes for the better, changing up the order, looking and just talking to each other are some of the things that they've been working on that's making them stronger. The Vodafone Giants, on the other hand, they just seem like a team to beat overall. I mean, they're not our first place team, but they seem like the team to beat overall. And honestly, what kind of more dynamic could you ask from these guys? They got multiple characters. They got characters that you don't want to play, and the people that are playing these characters are actually ridiculous. So the Vodafone Giants are definitely somebody you have to look at. NASR needs to start looking at, I honestly feel like. But then you still have Panda, and we got like a three-way tie working up. So next week, we're only still at the tip of the iceberg because the playoffs are almost here, and we're done with the first half of the season. The second half is important.
Yes, sir. And of course, as important as ever, being a big supporter of Street Fighter League and the FGC for 10 years, Astro supplying these A40 headsets for the entirety of every single player on this team present on set, and being able to clear or get the clear comms, all the clear sounds, and of course, the great durability, right? You got to make sure you can bring this bad boy everywhere. You could also pick one up for yourself down below at the Twitch panels to check it out, as the Astro A40 headset being a huge supporter of the FGC, as well as here in Street Fighter League Season 4. We've already set up the matches for you. All you gotta do now is not only study the VODs, but make sure you guys are back here in that seat for next week's matches. You don't want to miss it because it's only getting better here. And we'll see you next time for next week's team battles. Take care.
I'm the command grabber. You're the command grabbee. Don't you forget.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Low forward, playing a very patient game right here. Oof. That move just looks like it hurt.
Oh, the flailing roundhouse? Yeah, the amount of weight he puts down on it probably. He's out making logs for legs.
And the flannel pants on top of it. Actually had the stand light kick and didn't believe. Okay, power of the earth. Goes for the sweep this time. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's not even what Mr. Crimson wanted, right? Buffering it out, crouching heavy punch, or even confirming it. Having an overlapping input could possibly, let that critical off.
What a stand medium kick. Oh my God, that exchange was not fair at all.
Don't get grabbed.
Okay, ready for it. We saw PHENOM ready for the stand jab, interrupt, B skill. That's going to be that. And still would have had a nice confirm off of it. Could have been dash punch low, wheel kick, still got the kill. One round apiece.